Solve for x given that x is between 0 and 2 pi and tan x equals 1. Select all that apply. Let's draw our unit circle. Okay, there's a circle. And we will draw some lines through it. That looks pretty good. Okay, so let's divide this circle up into fourths. Now, pi over 4, remember this point here is pi. So pi over 4 would be here. We would have 2 pi over 4 here, which simplifies to pi over 2. And right here we would have 3 pi over 4. That's pi right there. Now let's draw some lines through the origin to there and there. Alright, so then this point is 4 pi over 4. This point is 5 pi over 4. This point is 6 pi over 4, which also simplifies to 3 pi over 2. And this point is 7 pi over 4. And this point is 8 pi over 4, which is 2 pi. Now we've actually broken this circle up into 8 wedges. Now we know tan x equals 1. So what does that mean? That means that sine x over cosine x equals 1, which means that they are the same value. So for example, at this point, if we draw this line down here and this line here, these lengths are equal because pi over 4 is 45 degrees, which you can figure out because we know that pi is 180 degrees. Pi over 2 is 90 degrees. You can see that right there. That's a right angle. And this point is exactly halfway along this arc. This is a 45-degree angle. This is a 45, 45, 90 triangle, which means the legs have equal length. So where on this circle is this true? Well, that would be true right here. Over here, it's not going to be true because this is going to be x and negative x. So that would be negative 1, not positive 1. But down here, we're going to have negative x, and when you take sine of negative x divided by the cosine of negative x, we are going to have a positive tan value here as well, 5 pi over 4. So the answer here is pi over 4 and 5 pi over 4. Down here at this point, we are going to have a negative x value for a negative value for sine. We're going to have a positive value for cosine, therefore tan will be negative. But yeah, those are our two answers, A and C. So as you can see, tan x equals 1 means that's the slope of the radius. It's also the ratio of sine x to cosine x. So there we have our 2 points.